Hello, my name is Matt Triano, and I am sharing with you my vlog for this week concerning semantic web and the use of Web 3.0, a little different than Web 2.0. So I want to share with you some of the interesting things that are happening in education in terms of utilizing some pretty amazing technological advances. At the same time, mostly sharing my reservations about their implementation in the classroom or in education in general. So to start, what is semantic web? What is Web 3.0? Well, Web 3.0 is really more about, it's characterized as the sharing of knowledge and information, communicating efficiently, building learning communities, and creating a culture of professionalism in the school. Whereas where Web 2.0 was about, it took regular internet where it was static pages, where it was mostly just someone put it on there and you read it. Web 2.0 then took that and was now allowing collaboration, communication, where you could now input your own thoughts and ideas into that information, uploading a lot of the content into the internet that's mostly user-based. And now we're not looking at connecting people to people, but Web 3.0 is now connecting things to things. The fact that you could be working at the school and you can check on what's happening with the temperature inside your home. There are some people that can literally enter into their home and the lights turn on. The TV turns on to your favorite station. The toaster starts making you toast just the way you like it when you enter. This is stuff of science fiction, but it's actually happening today and now being applied to the classroom. So here's a list of some of the things I found in my research that are kind of implementing this idea of the Internet of Things. So one of the more common ones I found, or just doesn't seem like a big change in technology, was a thing called the scan marker. Now the scan marker is just simply, I've seen some of my international students use it, where they sit and they go, and it translates from Chinese into English. But now the scan marker is also not only just translating the language, it's scanning it onto the computer itself. It can then instantly give you a thesaurus of other ways you could say it. It can link you to another person, your tutor, or someone who is more knowledgeable in the subject. So interesting that that's all from the use of a pen connecting you, and that pen interacts with other devices online to connect you to where you need to go. Interesting stuff. A certain school in Virginia that I looked at was looking at implementing Wi-Fi onto their buses, and they would thus become smart buses. The idea is that students could use the Wi-Fi to turn in their homework and work on the bus. But let's be honest, you really think the kids are going to go on the bus and use the Wi-Fi so they can work on your English assignment? Highly doubtful. But that's the idea behind it, that they could be more connected. The other ways that it's utilized, it would also track the buses. It would show parents real time where buses are located. It would send automated information to the child. So let's say you're at home and have you ever had this annoying thing where you're waiting for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, where's the bus, where's the bus? Well, with these smart school buses, it would literally be informing the parent with a literal pin showing you on your phone where that bus is and why it is late. Maybe there was traffic, maybe there's an accident. What about if your child's not on the bus? Part of this system would allow them to know that you would get a notification that your child did not get on the bus today. That's another thing. A different school, I forget which school it was implementing a certain RFID, some radio frequency identification chip inside of the students' their student cards. So it could track literally where they are. So you could literally open a map, some sort of software, and facilitators and administrators could be looking and know where every student is, exactly where they are with a GPS. Again, it makes sense for keeping your children safe, but I don't know, I have some major reservations about the fact that there is no ability to not be known where you are. You're going to be always connected to some bigger system. According to the Pew Research Center, they do lots of surveys, and one of the surveys showed that 95% of teenagers have access to a smartphone, and of those, 45% of them say that they are online constantly. With the new iOS update, it actually gives you an ability to track how often you use your phone, which apps you use, and how long you're sleeping. Maybe that's another tool of Web 3.0, but it's interesting. So the stats are showing us that this is literally the perfect place to be getting at the student. They're already spending a lot of time on their phones, so why not utilize that for education? Still, I still have some reservations about it. And I'll give you an example. In one of the schools I looked at for how they're implementing this Internet of Things in their classroom, they're doing this thing called connected or smart classrooms. One was a biology teacher that was utilizing a software program on tablets where students no longer need the experience of dissecting a frog. They can now dissect a virtual frog, or through AR, which is augmented reality. It looked very real, and you could use a stylus or a pen that would simulate the cutting of the frog and show all the parts to the frog. And while, yes, this is interesting technology and it allows them to all be on the same page, I mean, the teacher can literally sit at the front of the classroom and swipe on his main tablet, and all the tablets would swipe along with him. While this is exciting technology and definitely very useful in a classroom, I just have some major thoughts, even just as a Christian educator. I mean, I am a Bible teacher. I'm really big, and I teach a lot about autonomy, free will, and choice. And I feel it's so important that children have a sense of control. When you start to take away human error, the human's ability to make a mistake, mistakes are a part of life, and they make life better, honestly. I'm not saying I want to be in pain all the time, but a mistake, I've learned more from mistakes than I might learn from, success. When you're cutting a frog on a tablet, there's no fear in cutting a virtual frog. I used to hate the dissections because you didn't like the smell of the frog. The formaldehyde was just too much. I refused to do them. But there's no fear. There's no sense of, I'm cutting into something that was once alive, a living being. That sense is now gone. You're now making reality your technology. The issue is when technology becomes reality, it usurps the user's ability to make the choice. And as we continue into the 21st century and we're developing these skills, this collaboration, this communication, the creativity that's happening through these different, ones I've explained of the use of Web 3.0, we should never allow the technology to usurp their ability to make the choice. If they're always being monitored, I mean, I think Whitney had written this on her blog about, it's Big Brother, or it was, what was the name of that book? I can't remember the name of the book off the top of my head. But the idea behind it is living in a society where you're being constantly monitored. Isn't that a world we do not want to live in? We do not want to bring our children into a world where they're being monitored and being just watched the entire time. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I think as I continue to understand and research more about this topic, I will be much more educated. Before today, I was ignorant of the whole thing. And after reading for a long time, as much as I'm excited about all the fun and interesting technologies I can implement in my classroom, I can't help but feel a little uneasiness about what this could mean for the future of education or the future of our culture if we are to make education based on these things. Well, I'm all for collaboration and connection with Web 2.0. There's something strange about allowing things to know things, and yes, it does allow for a certain sense of efficiency, especially for the finances of a school. But there must come a point as educators that we have to draw the line somewhere. In our attempt to be efficient, may we not be too efficient to not allow mistakes and problems to arise, because through, as we know, and our old mantra that, necessity is the mother of invention. If we eliminate all necessity, where will our creativity go with our children, with our students? We want to train them up to be Christians that are digital citizens, that are concerned about the internet, absolutely concerned about what they put themselves out there, but also to know that they are allowed to make mistakes. They can put things out there that are not necessarily right, and that's okay, because we want to show them that there's redemption even through our mistakes. So that's a little bit of my thoughts on Web 3.0 and everything here, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to my vlog, and have a great day.